Yeah, let me sit closer. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you all are welcome to the Benin Empire Advancement League. Today we are live from Jamaica. Exactly now the time is, let me scroll back and see what the time is. The time is just about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, while in Nigeria is almost 8 o'clock. Yes, I'm today in the grill in Jamaica, on my Jamaica tour on the Benin Empire Advancement League tour. We try to know more about our people, not just only in Africa, also outside Africa, like somewhere like Jamaica, Haiti, Brazil, and almost all the Caribbean islands. We should try to know much about them because these are our people. Like the Jamaican people, they know exactly where they come from in Nigeria, and they know exactly that they are Nigerians. Anyone you ask here, they will tell you they are Nigerians. And I've met a lot of people here, a lot of nice people, a lot of people who are really, really nice, to say the fact. It's like I'm like home. It's like I'm in Nigeria, where almost all the characters that the Benin Empire has, you almost have it here. The behavior of the people, how the people react, how they welcome you, it's just quite different from what I've been seeing in European countries. And yes, here is very, very great to be here. Today, our topic is how to develop Africa as a whole, or Nigeria as a whole. Sorry, that's my son, because he needs to go in. We're in the hotel room. It's about 30 meters away from here. You see the beach and you see the water. Because, as you know, this Jamaica is for some people, it's like heaven in earth. Whereas for some our Jamaican brothers, it's like hellfire. The need to develop Nigeria, to develop the Benin Empire as a whole. This is very, very important, because these people, they really, really rely on us, because we own them a lot, because we couldn't protect them during the slave trade, although we did our best to protect our people. But today, what I can say is somewhere like Haiti, what they call it, you see something, it's like people living there, it's like they're living hellfire, where they eat sand. What you call sand? This is where people eat sand because they're too hungry, and sorry, I'm a little bit distracted because people are just coming into our garden, and yeah. Sorry about that, but let's continue. In something like Haiti, they also knew they are Nigerians, and the need to help these people is very, very important, because the French government, the French colony who colonized them, just left them in the darkness with a lot of bad leaders, just like we are having in Africa. It's almost all black countries where you have this problem. This is what I was also discussing with some Jamaicans today. Yes, Africa is a very, very rich, wonderful continent. There's nothing to compare with Africa. But the problem with Africa is just inferiority. And this inferiority doesn't mean that we are really inferior. Doesn't mean that we are really inferior. But the problem of the inferiority is just our leader. Our leader, once they have a friendship with all these Western leaders, it's like they forgot what is happening at home. It's like they are giving them the whole things, the whole natural resources, free of charge. When I reconcile or see what is going on in Mali today, or in Chad, or all these places where the Germans, the French, and the American soldiers are based, say they are keeping peace in that area. There's a lot of mineral resources in that area where these people are. Are they really protecting our people? Why are they protecting our people from our people? Who gave them this assignment? The United Nations? Who? We have to try to asking ourselves. When we have a country like Nigeria, who's supposed to be the giant of Africa, and they're doing all these things to make sure this foreign occupation stop, but we are doing nothing to stop all these things. We need to start developing our continent, developing our continent so that we can also help our people who are less privileged, who are living in other continents. Because if you see this from the white people, somewhere like Argentina, who was in crisis a few years ago, the whole of Europe, America, and Canada, Australia, they come to their rescue, doing a lot for them to make sure they come back to the world stage. But in the case of Africa, we have nothing. We have nothing. We don't help each other to come back to the world stage. Instead, people will be happy when we are falling. So we the Africans, especially the IPOBs, the Ododuwas, all these separatists or whatever they call them, we have seen this situation in Liberia, in Syria alone, even in Congo, still happening. It didn't bring them to anything, to any progress, to nothing, to say the fact. Sierra Leone is still suffering from the aftermath of the civil war. It's just like Liberia also, they're still suffering from the aftermath of the civil war. Congo is still in civil war. Cameroon is in civil war. Nigeria is partially in civil war. So we need ourselves. We doesn't need to depend on all these Westerners. That's why I'm so with some of our Igbo brothers who is calling on the American government or the British government to come to their rescue, to do something. We all know what is happening, what happened in Afghanistan, what happened in Iraq. The people of Iraq, they were also playing the same card during the time of Saddam Hussein. When the America came to Iraq, the first thing they did, they loot all the whole museum in Iraq. It was empty. They don't go to the oil sector and they loot everything. Before America left Iraq, there was nothing left. Almost 1 million people died. That's what, during the whole Saddam Hussein regime, they didn't lost even 1/4 of it. These are things we have to put into consideration. When you go to Libya today, when Gaddafi was in Libya, yes, he was a dictator. We all know this. He was also a very hard dictator, hardcore dictator. But when you look at the situation of Libya today, when the Americans, the Europeans said they were coming to rescue Libya, many Libyans they were very, very happy about that. But today, when you go to Libya, there's no peace, nothing. It's like a desert, going to a desert. It's like a lawless country. This is the type of help the Westerners always render to Africa countries. They say, oh, they want to remove our leaders because our leaders are corrupt, they are dictators, they are tyrannical, and all those sort of things. But when they come to Africa and remove the terror, they occupy the whole space, ruin the economic, cause civil war among the people, and they will leave, and they will say Africa is full of trouble. Africa has never been full of trouble. Africa is a very, very peaceful continent. Yes, sometimes we do have our tribal wars, and these tribal wars are also caused by all these Europeans, all these Caucasians. Why? Because of the borderline, the boundary, the draw, you know, ethnic groups that didn't belong together were put together, you know, in different countries. Where you have this problem in Nigeria today, you have this problem in Ghana, you also, almost in the whole of West Africa, and in the whole of Africa, you have this problem. Africa needs to reshape himself, redefine himself, not the definition of the Westerners, of the Americans or the Europeans or whatever. We need to redefine ourselves. We need to redefine our economy, to weaponize also ourselves, to defend our natural resources, because this is very, very, very important. Because if we cannot do that, we are still going to be under these people in the next 300 years. Because if you look at the people who rule the world today, you look at some countries like the Russians, the Americans, the Chinese, the Japanese, the British, the French, and all these people, they are well weaponized. Why are they not allowing other people to have the same weapon they're having? Because if Africa should come up and have the same weapon they're having, they have the problem. They now know half of their resources is gone, and it's going to be a huge problem for them. You know? So it's very, very important to make sure we defend ourselves, we start defending what we have, and then not letting people just take it away from us the way they like. You know? In Congo, for example, you have all the resources you use to build all this mobile phone. You have everything there they need to build a car, or in the communication setup. There's a lot there. You know? But there's nobody in control. Everything that is coming out of there are taken to the Western region, to the Western country without even control. Likewise, somewhere like Mali, Chad, and Nigeria, it's exactly the same thing. So this is where the Benin Empire and Nigeria as a whole should come in. You know? We need to come in to start defending our resources, to start protecting our people against all these invaders. You know? Because when you look at what they are doing in Western Europe, how the development is coming, you know, none of these resources is coming from Europe. It's coming from Africa. You know? Why are there chaos in Africa? There's a chaos in Africa because the Europeans, the Americans, the Asians like Chinese and the Japanese, they don't want peace in Africa. Because if we have peace and unity, we will protect our resources. You know? And once we are able to do that, these people will start falling. None of them will be able to afford it, to do anything, or even to achieve anything again, because the resources come. You know? Nigeria is not just about oil. We have other mineral resources which are very, very, very important to the world. But must we only rely on these mineral resources? There's a problem we're having. There's a problem with our leadership. This is where our leaders need to come up with a plan, a technological plan, how to move Nigeria forward, how to move Africa forward. Because when we are talking, I'm talking about this today because people are saying South Africa or some countries like Canada. Yes, but if you look at this country, they are very, very small countries, and their powers are limited. You know? Like, the power of Nigeria is unlimited. We have everything. You know? What we are lacking of is just leaders. Leaders with brain, leaders with vision, you know? Leader with enforcement. You know? When I look at Edo State today, when I read something about debt they are owing, you know, for me it's not a surprise. Because when you don't have income and you are going to bank to it, always take money, one day they will stop you not from taking money because you haven't paid the one you were owing back. So the Edo State government should have a plan, should come up with a plan to do what is necessary to start in the technological sector, you know, not just farming, you know. You come up with technological sector, we have a lot of young engineers, a lot of young technicians, you know, who went to university to study, to make sure they have a good job, they have a good chance, they have good opportunities, you know. If the government can come to their aid, and this organization too, in the future, is going to do a lot for our people, not just only in Nigeria, also in Ghana, in the voters region, because they are also facing the same problem. We are also facing the same problem here in Jamaica, because there are a lot of educated people without a job. It's like everywhere black people reside in this earth, there's always this problem of bad leadership. And we don't need to blame them all that too much, because most of this time they are being oppressed by the Western government, because they have this weapon, they have Facebook, they have Twitter, they have Instagram, which they use to weaponize themselves. You know, it's a psychological war. You know, when the NSAS was going on in Nigeria, we know what happened when CNN came in. Although CNN did also a very good job, but there were other people like Twitter, Facebook, who were using this medium trying to destabilize Nigeria. Because once they know Nigeria is destabilized, they are going to take over everything we are having, our resources. We are not going to have anything again. They succeeded in some form, but they didn't also succeed in some form. So there's a lot we can do for our people. Our people must also be ready to do something for themselves. We shouldn't be depending on our natural resources. We need to invest massively in technological aspects, like mechatronics, and yes, we need a lot. A lot needs to be done. You know, in this place where I am now, it's like a paradise. But when you go out from here, about 3 kilometers from here, you will know how these people live. The best house you will see is like a half of a boys' quarter. They have their bedroom, they have one room, you know, and they have their kitchen outside. That's how they live here. But if you're a tourist here, if you don't know, you would think this is the whole Jamaica is a paradise. But it's not that way. If there's no tourists in this country today, you know, these people, they will suffer. They are going to suffer. That's where Nigeria need to come up. Let us build Africa. If we can build Africa, then we can also build the world. We can build, we can help our people to build everything they need. We can help our people in Haiti. We can help our people in all these Caribbean countries, Barbados, so many other areas, you know, like Nicaragua. You go to Brazil, you know. If you also go to America, you know, it's a lot, you know, it's a lot, and we shouldn't be depending on all these Western countries to come and repair our land for us, because they're not going to repair it for us. They are going to destroy it more as it is now. That's why Nigerians they should wake up to defend Nigeria against all possible evasion or all possible separatist movement, because it won't bring us to anything. Because if you now say the Igbos, they should go on their own, these people, they are still going to remain Igbos. They are still going to remain the same people who were living in Nigeria. Their brain won't change in the future. They will still be corrupt as they are now. And in their own country, they will still also be corrupt. And then it will result to another civil war in their own area. Because the Igbos we are seeing today, Igbo is just a language. It's not an ethnic, because they have other different ethnics. And it's going to cause a huge problem for them. It's likewise like those who call them now Ododuwa. When you have Yoruba, these are different ethnic groups also who come together during the time of Ajayi Crowther, Awolowo, and now the present Oni of Ife, who is dancing up around, committing havoc everywhere. You know, these people, they are still going to be having a great problem, you know, because their brain will never change. It will remain the same. Exactly these people, you know, when these people, they were taken from Nigeria, trying to bring them to America, these people succeeded in running away, and this is where they formed Jamaica. Before, there were other people who were living in Jamaica. I don't remember their name now. They can't find any human being, any of them now again, because they are all erased by the Spanish people. Before the British brought our brothers in here, they were already gone. They were eliminated. They were not ordered to be people. They were just maybe not even a meter. But all of them are erased. They were all slaughtered just for the Spanish people to have a space here in this to drop our people to be doing their farm before the English people came here. So we are still having this problem. We need to stand up for our people, because this is very, very important. It's not just about history. Yes, we cannot eat history alone. We need to develop our land. We need to do something for our people, because it's only we ourselves that can really help ourselves. There's nobody that can help us. The British, they will not be coming to help you. They will only take what we already have. And not exactly the Germans, the French, and others. We know what they did to Benin, but the time has gone and passed. We are now looking forward. Yes, and all these artifacts that are going to be returned to the palace, yeah, they should be returned to the palace, but you also have a good plan how to monetize this museum in the future, because it doesn't really help when all these things are closed in the box without monetizing anything at all. So there's a lot we have to do today and tomorrow and in the future to help our people, to protect our people. We need to weaponize Nigeria. Nigeria needs to start doing its own ammunition, doing everything. We doesn't need to rely on all these foreign countries, because that is the biggest problem. The Americans, they hardly buy any weapons from other countries, unless for training purpose. Likewise, the Russians and the Chinese. So this is where Nigeria need to come in and do something special for their people. So I thank everyone today that was with me, and it was really fun. It has been fun here. These people, they are very, very, very friendly people, to say the fact. Once they hear you are from Africa or you are from Nigeria, or they will drop everything they are doing. They will give you the full respect you deserve. That's why it's very, very important for us to start standing for these people, because they still depend on us, because they know where they came from, where they come from. There's buffalo soldiers taken from Africa. You know, they drop them here. They have to fight for their survival because they know exactly what was going on. And they still find it difficult after independence because they're still being controlled economically by the British, by the Americans, because they have nothing here in this island, Jamaica. All they have is tourists. Tourism is their income. If you are a Nigerian, if you are rich, instead of going to America or going to a European country as a tourist, you can come to this place in Jamaica and have a holiday. It's not that too expensive. Instead of you going to Saudi Arabia, you can as well come to this place, or going to Dubai or all this Arabic country who doesn't even care about us. You can come to all these countries, all these Barbados, Jamaica, Haiti, Brazil, and so many on. Yeah, there's a lot of criminality here also, because if you look, also in Africa, there's a lot of criminality, because this is the excuse the white people are always giving. There's a lot of criminality in Africa. There's a lot of sickness in Africa. There's a lot of war in Africa. You know, it's almost everywhere. Even in Europe, there's war. In America, there's war. You know? So we don't need to let ourselves down for all these people. We need to stand up for our people, to make sure our people come up to a standard, to a level where they can really take care of themselves, where they can also feed themselves, feed their family, and do everything. Because for the Jamaicans, it's very, very important in this season where we are now till February, you know, when people really work, the money they earn now is going to take them for the whole year. You know? It's not an easy thing for these people here. You know? It's like not like just like in Nigeria, because their landscape is very small. They have very little place to farm. Most of these things they have is imported from other countries. You know, this is where Africa need to be coming in. You know, if you can start importing to all these countries in a cheaper rate for them, for them to be able to buy goods like something like rice, yam, cocoyam, and so many other things that we can be able to give to these people. It's going to be very, very great. When you go to the Dominican Republic, that's the same problem. Honduras, we black people, we are always the last there. So this, like, Africa need to standing on. We are no longer under slavery. Although we are all still under colonial power, because we are not really free as we are supposed to be. We are still dependent. We need independence. We need to be. We need a sort of economic plan for Africa, a technological plan for Africa, for them to develop. Our forefathers, they did this before. All this artifact, all this war, all this invention that we are seeing today, Africa saw them before. We saw them coming. But we have a period of almost 500 years where we couldn't learn nothing. We were taking just, all those people who know something, we're just taking away. It's like Africa have to restart himself. We lose a lot of knowledge, technological knowledge. There was a power vacuum, you know, that was occupied by a foreign force who were not used to our culture, who were not used to the way of life we were having. You know? So it's just like the vacuum was too big. It was almost 500 years and even longer. You know? This caused a lot of problem for Africa. It's still causing a lot of problem for Africa today, because the young men, the young women were all taken to other countries as a slave, and the old and the children we just left to die. You know? That's why in one of my former video where I said we was like we had seed, you know. We sow, when you sow a seed, you know, sometimes if you take 100 years, 200 years, you know, before when the rain fall, everything will start generating, you know. They will start growing, and once they start growing, they will also sow another seed. And yes, this life goes on this way, you know, because the way the Europeans and the world was against Africa at that period, it's like they want to erase Africa from the world map, and many of them are sticking that way. Because if you come to Europe today, they will tell you this, and they know this also. This is why they are doing what they are doing. If Africa can be able to develop and have an economic plan, a technological plan, a very strong military force, well-equipped military force, I bet you these people will not dare. They don't try to China or to the Japanese, because they know how strong these people are. So it is our time. We have so many in the whole world. Africa is where you have the most youngest generation. This is a huge opportunity. You know, this is a huge map power. We have so many intelligent people who can help us build Africa. But our leaders, they must come with a plan to bring Africa forward, a plan to bring Africa to the highest level. So I'm appealing to the Nigerian government, to also our traditional rulers and traditional leaders, because there's a lot we can do for our people inside and outside Africa. You know, because these people, they also depend on us, they rely on us for protection. You know? So many years ago, they were brainwashed, telling them they were sold. Many of them now know they were not sold here. They were captured, especially those people from Jamaica now and Haiti. They were taken from Nigeria, taken from the southern Nigeria. So it's something that we need to really discuss with our brothers outside Africa, who their forefathers were also sold. We need to come down to a table with them and have some of the discussion, a sort of reconciliation with these people, because this is also very important for their own life too. Many of them have found their way back to Africa, but there's still a lot to be done. So I thank everyone for joining me today. It's just a quick one because my internet provider is very low, because I couldn't even do this program through my laptop. I have to do it through a hotspot through my phone, two phones that I'm using. That's why I was able to stabilize this internet today. Yes, where I'm sitting here now, this hotel is owned by a black person, by a Jamaican, a very well-respected Jamaican. He respects Africa a lot. He has been in Africa. He knows a lot about Africa. He knows about their history. So there's nothing you can tell them about their history. Yes, in my time in Jamaica, I'm going to be coming with more of their history and their stories to you people. So please stay tuned and enjoy yourself and take care of yourself and your family. So let us build Africa so that we can help all the black people around the world. Thank you. Goodbye. About is